Boom. SQR Podcast, Cole Rosenberg, rocking on an epic night in our new set here. Usually our podcast runs, the regular routine, 4 cuts, we dig into our life. But my guest is like oozing jewels. And the set is so iconic. We were just saying to the Heavenly Father, big up yourself for this blessing us because we're outdoors right now. Although it may not look like that because the cameras and the lighting is so muy bueno. But we're outdoors right now. The moon is at the right angle. There's 2 crickets in the back setting the right Jamaican vibe for your boy. So we're cracking in with my guests. 90 degrees. And you know what, my youth? Going forward, I'm going to make sure I don't call you 50 plus 40. I'm going to make sure I don't call you 90. I'm going to definitely call you 90 degrees because understanding the meaning behind that name is now giving me direction. Bong bong.
And that's why I utilize that name for that simple purpose.
So let's pick up this. FUBU.
Yeah.
Got fired.
Yeah, man.
How you pull that off? And this is when FUBU is moving. I mean, FUBU is for you, for us, by us.
Yeah. It was great crowd. I learned a lot in there. Here's the thing. When you go to a job, right? You go to a job to work and get your shit done. When I went to FUBU, I never got home. I was constantly there all night working,
designing,
smoking weed. Even when even when they looked at you like it was crack back then.
I remember
this is 1999. You know what I'm saying? 2001. So it was too much partying going on. So and they would call me to do this and that and the other. It was different departments in the building. Like they had 3 departments, and I swear to God, I was doing work for Damon John. I did some stuff for Bobby Joseph. Big up Bobby Joseph and Damon John.
Yeah, big up yourself, Damien.
I enjoyed working with you. There was too many women around. There was too much
distractions.
Distraction. There you go. That's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
There was too much distractions. So after that, it became a problem where I couldn't be achievable. I screwed that up. I got fired.
And you knew you dropped the ball.
Yeah, I fucked up.
Okay.
I fucked up. He even called me to the office and said, "Man, Floyd, I gotta let you go." I was like, whatever. Knowing that I could have said something because y'all got me doing this and got me doing that. No, that's your fault. That's not my fault. I could have said something. But I was too young. I was too stupid. I couldn't stand for myself. Y'all owe me a payout or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it was just good. I get to use,
So you walk out of FUBU.
Yeah, I walked out of FUBU, man. And they give me a call back. And now, mind you, I did a lot of stuff, right? My last project when I did in there was the Muhammad Ali project, right? Muhammad Ali.
Okay, so you know what? I'm going to be straight up with you. I want you to explain a little bit, what was because I don't remember the Muhammad Ali project. I'm not even going to play myself as a host and be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, at FUBU, they had, they had certain there was a platinum line, right? When I was there, it was Fat Albert.
Okay, I remember that line.
Right, platinum. Then they had Globetrotters. No, they had Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
Platinum, then they had Globetrotters.
Okay.
But when they had Muhammad Ali, man, I can't remember, man. It was probably Susan.
Yeah.
Who cares?
No, but
my whole point is I did some Muhammad Ali stuff, and apparently when Muhammad Ali came in, he wanted to see, he liked my work. He was like, I don't know how this really went down, but big ups to, since we're using this word so greatly, this segment.
Yeah.
Big ups to oh, this is embarrassing. I just told you her name earlier.
The young lady who was head of marketing.
Yeah. Which is
at FUBU.
Right. Oh, God damn.
Well,
I can't remember her name at the moment. It's terrible. See, that's why I'm drinking.
No. Bon.
Yeah, this responsible drinking to me doesn't really work too well. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, her name is Leslie Short.
There you go, bong. That's what Heineken does. Bring back the memory. Bong. Leslie Short. Keep it moving.
Oh, God. Keep this away from me. Anyway, Leslie Short. So she said, "Hey, come in. Muhammad Ali wants to meet you." And
After you got fired, my dude?
yeah, I was fired. I was fired. He wanted to meet me at this point, and I got the pictures of it. So when I show you these pictures, you're gonna be, the pictures of me. I'm smiling, about to shake his hand, but I'm angry and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't got no job. You know what I'm saying? Y'all call me because y'all wanna gloat me for what? I ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? I'm living them. Anyway, my whole point is, when I got there, I saw him, and he was at that point when I walked in the room. He was standing up by the window, looking and pointing on the window, on the glass, and he was saying, really slow. Okay.
Was this a time when he was deteriorating?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to understand, not that much. You feel what I'm saying? When you see me in the picture, he still has some plump to him, right?
Okay.
So,
I remember that time. Yeah.
Later on in the segment.
Yeah. We'll show it.
Yeah. So he was touching the window, real slow, and he says, "Everybody used to know me at one point." And we was like, "No, they still do. They still do." And we was like, "Oh."
Wow.
He would even sit down and say some jokes. It would take a little while to finish it. They would try to finish his jokes, and he would still finish. No matter what they said as the punchline to help him out, he would still finish it anyway, which made it even more fun.
Yeah. R.I.P. to Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. So, my moments was like running out. I'm just like, Floyd, you have no money. You're broke. Say something. Not like, can I get some money? No, I was more like saying, I was saying, can you sign one of my paintings to me? He looked at me. He said no, but he wasn't finished. So I was heartbroken before he could finish. He says but what he said was no, only if you sign one of your paintings to me.
No way.
And I said, sure, which one? He pointed it out. I took it. I signed it. I don't even know if I spelled his name right, but I signed it. I put Muhammad Ali from 90.
Yo.
He took one of mine and he did the same thing. I'll show you that when I see my house. So he's one of the pieces. Let's don't stop 1 second. When I did that, right away. Now, Damon John, y'all know you're wrong. You know you're dead fucking wrong. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I love Damon. D, I love you because you gave me an opportunity, but you did some shitey shit that day, and you got mad at me. And I'm gonna call you out. I love you, D, but this is what Damon John did that day, and a few others. It was called Opportunity Knocks. Because as soon as he did that for me, they reached out and grabbed my paintings and said, "Can you sign this one to me? Can you sign this one to me?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is going on? I ain't got no job, and y'all taking my paintings and getting them signed, yo."
You gotta be fucking kidding me, bro.
1 second. I'm like, go ahead, sign that shit. Yeah, boom. Yep. You go ahead. Boom. When it was done, he's like, that night, don't worry about it. We paid. Bruce and Norman Whitefield really wanted a piece, and they never got it because they saw how they acted at the table. Bruce and Norm they could co-sign this shit. Damon John took one of my paintings and got it signed to him. Jay Alexander got one signed to him. And I'm only one guy on there that I gave one to, God bless his soul, and he died. It was Will Cardington, and I gave one to him. His wife has it. Signed to him, and she got it. You best believe I wanted that shit back after he passed away, but then I was like,
yeah. Respect the honesty, but damn, bro.
But he signed one to me, and they all got those pieces, and they had to.
Did they compensate you for those pieces?
I had to go to Damon and get that. Get. I was like, yo, you owe me money for this. He said, so how much is it gonna cost? I said $4,000. I think I said $7,000, and he says, I'm not paying you $7,000. So he gave me $4,000, and he threw the check on my chest. Damon, I ain't forget that shit.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
But it is what it was, You fired me, so I reached. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But you reached first. I hate when people try to blame the third and the fourth ripple. You the rock, D. You created that fucking ripple. And if you want to blame something, go back to the rock that was dropped. The other one, Jay Alexander, he drove off, and I didn't get money back from him until like 3 weeks later. But I got it when he came back from London.
So you got paid for that?
I got paid for that.
Wow. It's so interesting that and I guess that's why he's a shark. You know, because
this dude is brilliant. Listen to me. He did wonderful things. Okay. He changed a lot of things. I don't care how you choose to do it. You did it well. You know what I'm saying? I was working for him. You feel what I'm saying? I should expect more than that. You know what I mean? You don't get where you gotta get unless you do the shit you goddamn.
True. You take these experiences as they chisel you off from a dirty ass rock, and if you have a diamond in that motherfucker, make sure it shine right. So major jewel right there, bro.
No, it's just what it is.
No, but it's a major jewel.
It's a jewel that's been said before in other ways. I just said it different. But it's just, you know, everything I say is in a metaphor of a zoom out. And I call it a zoom out because I don't like to deal with the details of people's problems. I think everybody have their own problems in life, and I don't want to dig into your problems, but I want to say something that can make you resonate to what your life is. So everything I'm saying could be applied to everything else and anything that someone's doing out there, you know. And at the end of the day, first things first, we're 70% made up of water. You know, take care of that first. Take care of the food first, and eat what the planet is giving us. And with that, things will grow and things will happen, and you have that mind to think the way it's supposed to. Right now, we're being stunted by a lot of stupid shit, and we can't really progress because we're too stuck on stupid. And it's okay, but if you can recognize it, get out of it.
Yo, I so appreciate every ounce of not vulnerability, but also knowledge sprinkled in between that, because my dude, it just oozes out of you, my dude.
You know, thank God I had, you see, and this is why I always get mad at folks when they say things about my family and ways. They taught me one thing, and that I took on, and I always tell people, take the best of everybody and make the better you. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, say that again, my dude.
Take the best of everybody and make the better you. We are not perfect people, so we're gonna go say some shit that's not gonna be great, but don't take that part on. They take the part that's good and make the better you. Perfect your life.
That is gotta be one of the most profound statements made on this podcast in the past 4 years we've been running production, bro.
I guarantee you everybody can use that.
No, of course. So I wanna before we wrap, I wanna touch on a couple of things, and we kind of navigated up to right here. There's some amazing paintings behind us in the set right now.
Yeah, I'm shocked it's staying alive right now. They're falling apart. You mind if I stretch one out real quick? I'll stay in the
do your thing.
It seems like one is a little out of wizzack.
But I gotta tell you, that Nipsey hustle.
Yeah, this one did pretty well. Like, I don't even have followers. I always tell people, I got like 5 followers.
he's playing coy. He's playing coy.
I ain't bullshit. Listen, I ain't know nothing about social media.
Drop the Instagram. Drop your Instagram real quick.
Zone 90 Graphics. But listen.
Zone 90 Graphics on Instagram. Check him out right now. Yeah. But yo, that Nipsey hustle, my dude.
Yeah, it's
the details on this.
It's kind of wobbly. You can't really see him too good. But
the details on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
People, the good book says, God give each of us a talent. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a talent. Opportunity isn't distributed equally, but talent is. And the talent, the easy piece that you're doing right here. And what's so funny, on SQR Podcast, 90 Degrees is going to bless us with a SQR classic piece that we're going to show you. But he got
posted shit first. I ain't doing shit. I want to see what it looks like. I ain't doing nothing. I'm tired of doing some free. Yeah.
No, we're gonna do something classic. But as we get ready to wrap on this 90, and you know what's so funny? I think it's only fair that I say, I'd love to have you back.
Oh yeah, there's some other shit.
Because I'd love to be able to.
There's some other. Listen, I don't mind talking about the glorification of my life and the part that glows. But listen, I want to let you guys know about the valleys. Life is always about peaks and valleys. I don't know if you ever heard this shit before. Sometimes, you know,
Very cliche. They've never heard that before.
It's like our weight.
Yeah.
You know, it's peaks and valleys. Sometimes it's in shape, and sometimes we just don't feel like doing shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't look we don't look our best when we're down. But sometimes these downs make you understand a lot of things. It makes you, it locks you in to understand a lot of shit in life. And I think with that, if we could understand that real quick and embrace just, especially now after the pandemic, and it's still going on actually, we can understand what we lost and recognize the bullshit that we say amongst others. We are the ones who create ripples. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to create any, let's create some good ones.
Oof. There's an experience that I was privy to hear that it's very poignant and to be shared tonight. And there's a drawing you did in the Bronx. So and it was a tourist stop
in Harlem.
Thank you for the correction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for the correction. So, in Harlem, there's this famous spot, this art drawing that you did.
That's right, the Big L wall.
And that's
140th and Lenox.
And
yeah.
Elaborate on the experience.
I was called to do a wall back in 1999 by Ruckus Records. Okay, it was done in time lapse. Ruckus Records no longer exists. If you anybody remember what Ruckus Records was, they had a logo with a razor blade bent.
Yes, of course, classic. Right. Yeah.
Right. So they're gone. But when I went there to do the job, it was in time lapse, and they did the whole thing, and it was like, you know, I didn't know what this would have been. I was happy to get the job, right? I'm doing stuff for Nas. I'm doing stuff for all these different people back in the day. So I'm getting recognized. So when they want to do a wall, they call who can do the face. At the time,
the best.
Not good enough to be recognized as a person. I don't. So they call me.
I respect your humbleness.
They called me and I did it.
The Big L wall.
Right. So, not even realizing that as time is ticking by and this shit is like years is falling off and it's losing color, they call me back and I redid it. I don't even realize as these dates are ticking away. I don't even realize kids are being born from whatever beginning to 17 into 21, and that's all they know.
That wall.
On that wall. I'm sorry. They know more than that.
Yeah. But one of the iconic things is that wall.
That's all I know is the fucking wall. No, they know.
Yeah.
They know the wall is so iconic. Like they don't know it to be anything else but that. So the power that did to time
cemented itself.
Yeah. So even if I wanted to leave, like even if because you know I left like an idiot, you know. A woman got involved after divorce and shit. A woman got involved. Anyway.
You can't live with them or you can't live without them, son. So
listen. After that, I found out that I left the scene. Like I left the scene where I couldn't really, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't matter. The wall kept me alive. Didn't matter what I did. Like I left, went to Atlanta with this woman. Man, fuck it. It was Idris Elba's ex-wife.
What? Idris Elba's.
Yeah, he was his ex-wife. It's another fucking story. Biggest mistake of my life. Not for his child. I actually loved the little girl. Biggest mistake of my life. But
maybe that's why she's his ex-wife.
Yeah, I actually hated him when I dated her, but after I left her, I understood him. That's some shit.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? I get it, bro. I get it, bro. Why? You know, he told me too. He was like, man, you have my wife, you have my kid. You know.
Do the accent again.
Whatever.
Do that accent again. You have my wife.
We became
I
cool.
can do it. Yeah.
We became cool.
Oh, okay, good.
We became cool then, because at the beginning he didn't know what the hell was going on. You know.
My dude, you lived up. Yeah, my.
I was just like stupid, man. I was stupid. I wasn't with my son. It's almost like I was trying to replace him with her. It was dumb. It was dumb. I was young. I thought I could do it, but how the hell you gonna try to, you left FUBU, you have left FUBU money, and now you with this woman that's looking for movie star money. Like, what the fuck was I doing?
Yeah.
Big mistake. Shame on her for thinking I could have hung. You know what I'm saying? Maybe anyway.
Yeah, maybe you did.
Maybe it was the wrong hung. Anyway, I screwed up. Where was I?
No, so you're talking about
before I went on this slippery ass slope.
yeah, well, which is what we do here at SQR Podcast. We get you there. No, but you were talking about just navigating and losing focus and being out of connection. You know, we're in the Idris Elba.
Right. So I left. I went to Atlanta, and even if I chose to give up hip hop, it didn't matter.
That wall was there.
Because that wall. Let me tell you something. My art and my historical background of what I've done have done a lot for me. From the Mariah Carey video with Heartbreaker remix with the hood of the car, with the 3LW, with the painting in the street that peel up in the street. It was called Promise.
Yeah, I remember that video.
Something like that. I forgot what it's called. When I did the Foxy Brown. I did the Foxy Brown Brooklyn Anthem with the Biggie Smalls in the background. That's mine as well. The big
dude.
I can go on and on and on, yo. Like, man, shit I've done. Like
the art just kept calling you back, like Pookie.
You know, but so they try to ignore it. It didn't matter because it was already branded. It was already repeating. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn, all kind of shit, man. Missy Elliott, all kind of shit I did.
But I think the Big L wall is iconic because of the draw it had, you know. And I remembered you sharing, walking by the wall that day.
Yeah. I was homeless when I came back up from Atlanta from this wonderful woman. I was back up here and I became homeless. I was homeless for 2 years. You know, I didn't know about that. For 2 years, I was in the train. I didn't beg in the train, but I just needed a place to sleep. You know.
You slept on the train, man?
Yeah, and couches and shit like that. Yeah, I just had to focus. I wanted to focus. I had my laptop, shit like that.
Well, you had money?
No.
What would you eat?
No, I mean, I did what I can. You know what I'm saying? I asked like friends for shit. I owed a lot of shit. But I like I said.
Yeah.
You know, I got help from certain people. You know, to a certain point where my family's like, "Why didn't you tell us?" I just couldn't. You know, they told to tell all the nieces and nephews. You know, if Floyd can do it, y'all can do it. I didn't do it, so it was embarrassing.
Okay.
So I just couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
I respect that.
So when I popped up from all that stuff,
the Big L wall.
Yeah, no. When I popped up from everything else, I'm sorry. Once I walked out there, one day when I was homeless, I walked out to the wall, and I wanted to see if it was still there. You know,
You specifically went to look at the wall?
Yeah, I mean, people stop there almost every day. Apparently, I didn't know that. You know, it became like a tourist stop. So I didn't know it was a tourist stop. I just wanted to go see this place. Now, you know, I'm homeless. I'm like, I'm like 140 pounds.
And what's so funny is, as you're talking about, let's just set the exact location of this wall so my guests can go.
140th and Lenox.
140th and Lenox, uptown Harlem.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. So I got out, looked at the wall, and a bus stopped, like a little mini bus. And people got out and they're looking at the wall and they're taking pictures. I'm like, oh shit! So they're not pushing me out the way, but because it was like a little group of folks that came out, And I was like, oh, what's this? They were like, we're filming this, taking pictures of this famous artist's wall. I'm like, I don't feel that famous. But when I said it, I put my hands in my pockets and I pull out like rabbit ears. I'm like, I don't feel that famous.
You said that to her verbally?
I said to them. They came out of the bus and they said, we're here to take a picture on this famous artist's wall.
You're homeless.
I'm homeless, bro. I'm homeless and I'm on this wall. Yo. Yeah. Anyway. So I came out of this wall and it's just like, you know, God damn it, you son of a bitches. Anyway, I came out of this wall and they said, we had to take a picture of this famous artist's wall. I'm like, yo, I don't feel like famous, man. And they were like, you did this wall? I said, yeah, I did this fucking wall. I was like, yeah, I did this fucking wall. I was like, what do you mean famous? They're like, we were told that this is Tats Crew. I'm like, this is not Tats Crew. This is fucking 90 degrees right there in the wall. And it's like, can we take a picture with you? I was like, sure, why not? Like, but I'm like bugging out, like, what the fuck? And you see the pictures on my thing. I'm in the middle and put the L up or whatever.
Yeah.
Took a picture and they all got on their way.
And you're homeless at the time.
Yeah. They got on their way and I signed some stuff for them or whatever and they got on their way. I'm just like, this feels like shit. Like fucking shit.
Wow.
But this shit make you see shit, man.
Yeah.
But just to say hip hop kept me alive.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Kept me alive. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing out here?
Yeah. No, it's understandable, bro. No, I really appreciate the vulnerability and the ability. Yeah.
But it was all right. It's all right, though. You know why? Because I went through it. I got past it. And it did something, man. It just did something. It did something. It made me see something. And with that being said, I was able to take that to another level but with my life. So when you don't recognize it, you'll feel it. When they tell you to learn certain things in life and you don't do it, you can either learn it in 2 hours or a week, or you can do it yourself and it'll take you 10 years.
True.
Now,
major jewel right there. Major jewel right there.
No, check it. But it could take 10 years. Now, you will learn it. But it went back to that guy that said you can waste your youth or your mind. And that shit came back and slapped me in the face. I'm like, oh shit.
You were doing both.
I was like, oh shit. I was like, yeah, that was it right there. I didn't get it, but the fact I didn't get it, you will get it, but it'll take you 10 years. But when you do, you regret it, but you'll set your path to make sure that you don't lose
it again. Yeah.
So when you get comfortable, jump to something else. When you get comfortable, jump to something else. Major
jewel.
That's the muscle that's unworked. When I'm in the gym and I'm working out, I try another muscle that's weak, and I'm like, and I'm like, yup, I gotta keep on. That's a weak muscle. I gotta get past that. It'll get easier. Physical, mental, same shit. Physical, mental, same shit. Strengthen them both. But don't pick up heavy weight if you can't handle it. Pick up something small.
Wow.
Sorry about that.
No, there's nothing to apologize, because I am honored and privileged to be a part of this journey.
Man, it made me see something, man. So more power to Idris, more power to his wonderful ex-wife, and everybody else after that. I had to learn the hard way. It's not their fault. I had to learn the hard way. Whatever that we see in life, don't blame others. Blame your fucking self before you understand what your wealth is. And now my heart is a lot more powerful and a lot more valuable than fucking money. So when I get it,
let's talk about right now.
My value is more worth than fucking money right now.
And that's
my heart.
Yeah.
My art.
Yeah. No, but which is really.
Art.
Yeah. There's something about, but it's really, your heart is where everything spills from.
Oh yeah.
It really does. You know. So if you're telling me right now, and I'm feeling it right now, that you say your heart is great right now, everything else around you is going to be okay. So let's come to right now. We're surrounded by your artwork. We had some great pieces up Tupac piece. We had the Big Pun piece. You know, we're now honored to have this beautiful Nipsey. We have the Easy piece, and these are just a drop in the bucket of the pieces that you've done and you have right now. What's 90 Degrees doing right now, today? Let's touch on that DMX beautiful mural piece, mural you did.
Yeah.
What inspired that?
What inspired that? When DMX passed away, I reached out to people to try to see if I can get this mural done. I didn't know where it was going to be. Nobody reached out. I reached out to Queen Latifah. She reached back out to me. She actually texted me back and said, I'll see what I can do. You know, I worked for her in the past, so yeah.
Yeah.
A couple other people, I cannot mention their names. But I reached out, nothing. But listen, no one was going to reach out to me. For what? I was lucky that Latifah sent that text.
She replied to you.
You know what I'm saying? She replied. You know, I love her mother,
yeah.
You know, I was like a brother to her. I did stuff for her. Anyway, but it was amazing. I'm sorry.
And so we're talking about the inspiration for the DMX piece.
Right,
You had to reach out to Latifah. Latifah texts you back.
Right.
And nobody reached out to you.
Nobody reached out. So I'm watching this. I'm watching the funeral on TV, and I'm just like, wow, how terrible this is with his kids and whatever.
Yeah.
And of course, Tashira Simmons. You know, we're cool. I know her. So I reached out to her, nothing, but she's so busy with the film funeral. I don't doubt it, nothing. So finally, somebody reached out to a wall that I did, the big L, and said, we want that guy if you can reach out to him. The folks from that wall, which is I forgot the TV. He's gonna hate me right now. But he reached out to me and said, hey, someone is trying to get the DMX wall done. You want me to pass your number over? I said, yeah. It's funny.
Without even knowing that you were trying to get it done.
Right. Because I was trying to do it. I actually agreed after that, when nothing was happening, I agreed to do it with this other kid who got paid with Def Jam to do something with Def Jam, but he couldn't do it because he was in Arizona somewhere. And I was like, what's the point you saying let me rock with you if I couldn't get it done? So I let it go.
Yeah.
I just let it go. I said, fuck it, it wasn't meant to be. And all of a sudden I got called on. I felt like that was DMX, you know?
Yeah.
Because I did the DMX and the Leah video. I did the
Okay, I remember that single.
Piece. Back in one.
Yeah. Yo, Timberland killed that track.
Yeah. Is that who did that track?
Yeah, Timberland did that track.
Yeah, I can't remember who did the track. But yeah. So I did the backgrounds for that video. So the first time I've been to Younkers was for that video, and that was like 20-something years ago.
Yeah, really.
So to get called back now for it, it was touching. You know, like wow, like I wonder if this was DMX. You know, doing this. In my mind, in my world, DMX reached out and said that he wanted
him to do my
shit because he don't want nobody doing him to look like, Daryl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I've seen a couple, I think I've seen one or two other murals that were done around, and they don't look nothing.
No. Remember, today you might not be good, but tomorrow you'll be better.
That's the jewel.
Speaking for those who got ridiculed.
Yeah. Thank you for checking me.
Because they did some shit.
Thank you for checking me.
They said they look like Omar Epps and all kind of shit like that.
Thank you for checking me.
Yeah.
Thank you for checking me.
Important.
So let's get back.
We laugh and we could giggle, but if it means that they're gonna grow from that, fine. But
that's true. You know what? I stay checked.
There's too many people out there.
No, I stay checked, and you know what? I appreciate
that ugly ass shit.
No.
I went through so much shit, man. And you're forced to listen. So the times you don't listen in the 5 minutes, sometimes you're forced to listen in 5 years. So a lot of times they say, "Oh, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that." I'm like, but why? You need to learn math. Why? It's in the back of the fucking book. Like it says, 1 times, 2 times, 3 times. What I need it for? Nobody couldn't tell me. I needed somebody skillful to say, well, you you need to understand you need to understand the equation of certain things when things are happening in a fast time, just so you can break down the understanding before you can, figure it out. But anyway, just figure out equation is important a lot. Nobody can tell me that in any way. And if you said that, I wouldn't understand it anyway, as a little kid. So, but a lot of kids are prepared when they go to school. I won't say they're prepared because they're fundamentally prepared. Their family prepared them for that. A lot of families don't prepare you for that. A lot of families don't have that. Yeah. These kicks, honestly, it kind of represents me in a way. I was trying to figure out something iconic that was going to represent me. And honestly, man, I'm kind of alien-like anyway. Rare in what I do, and I'm very strong at my craft, mentally strong, So I look at it as if I'm going to do something, it's going to represent me, metaphorically, and at the same time, something that I grew up watching. So we have the Looney Marv going on over here, between two worlds. I'm not going to brand other companies, but it's kind of like I combine the two. Maybe Disney can give me a call. It's something that we don't take advantage of, our strength. And we all have like inner power strength, especially when we exercise it to know what it's like to get there. Most of us try it out and we give up before we can try. So it's like a mental, and it's a metaphor of mental and physical. So the mental and the physical comes with an energy that requires you to work your muscle, and that's what the Hulk represents on my shoe, sneakers, as you know. But the Martian represents like just unique, rare, out of this world, So If you want to call me a UFO or call me an extraterrestrial, fine, I'm good with that, because there's nobody else like me. Listen, life comes with peaks and valleys, right? And when it's the valleys, it's the valleys. You know, when it's
the valleys?
Oh, many a times, and sometimes we don't know we're in the valleys until we're in the valley. You know, I call it getting off mama titty, right? Nobody said it better herself, and that was Leslie Short from FUBU, the one who was in charge of FUBU. She said something when I used to work there. We will get back to that in a second. But she said something in there. She told somebody in the company. She's like, "Get off your mama titty already. You know, the milk is in the fridge." And I was like, and she walked away, and somehow I laughed all day, just thinking about that. But I never really got it. One day when I really I got it, but we never get it till we're there, you know? And when I was there, man, I was just like, okay. It's tough, it's rough, but I think I needed it. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying? So these values that we may talk about later on in this whole segment, if we're gonna say it, I don't need any sympathetic reactions towards me. I just need people to tap in to when they recognize it, to do something with it, because this world is rotating with or without you. And if we don't take a grip with what's going on, we're gonna miss it. So if we gotta hit ground, we gotta hit ground. Sometimes we raise with our families, and our families don't really get us totally there. But for us to be here, we far enough. So to take what we have and to make the next generation better, all for it. And I went somewhere to do a job, and I just was so exhausted with everything. I went to smoke a joint, be honest with you, in the park somewhere, close to a train, while I was waiting for the next train to come, and in Jersey, you know. And a cop just railroaded me, railroaded me to a point where they run my records, and I had a warrant, which was always taken care of, but they never took care of it. And now I'm repeating this whole thing again. And I got so annoyed with it that I was just like, you know what? Because I had to reach out to some people to help me out, you know. And because they came and helped me out, I was embarrassed, and I was pissed, and I was just like, no more. There's always something that tells you no more. You know, it's not even important the detail of it. It's like it's just to the point where it's like I was done. I was done, and I was like, you know, I can blame the world for many other things, but I'm just like, I just want to start blaming myself. And because I started blaming myself, I started feeling a lot better within my heart. And from there, the growth was all wealth. And I was like, oh shit, I never felt this before. That means before I was looking for wealth, and it wasn't in my heart. It was just trying to get it, you know. And I was like, thank God I never got it, because if I had made that money back then, I'd have hurt myself or other people. I wasn't fundamentally ready for the world. You know what I'm saying? My craft, yes, I was ready to show the world that, because I was failing in many things in life. But when I was using my art as the drive too much, and it's not that. I wanted to get it here first, because when you build a strong core mentally or physically inside, it just makes you a lot better with creativity. Back in 1995 or 6 or something like that, this director came into my studio in Jersey City, right? And he was like, hey, we heard of your work. You know, can you do a painting of Big Pun for a video? I was like, sure. He's like, I said, when do you need it? He says, like by tomorrow. I was like, come on, guy, like, you know. And I could do it, you know, but I got so sick and tired of everybody always coming to me to do stuff because I could do it really, really fast. That I was like, no, I'm not, you know, for the price as well. I was like, no, I can't, you know. I said, I have one inside if you want to check it out. He said, you have a Big Pun? I said, yeah. He looked at it, he's like, that's perfect. Can we just rent that one from you? And I was like, sure. I gave him a clearance for a certain amount of time for the video. They had like, I think they made like 100 copies for a video. And in Puerto Rico, it was 100%. I met Big Pun before the painting. The painting was done after he passed away. This was purpose. This video was for Big Pun because he passed away. You know, So that was so I didn't do it for him, but when I do these paintings, I do it because I'm trying to shop it to the artist. Lenox Lewis wanted to get some outfits done done for the boxing ring. You know, I knew my mom, she sewed, so I got my mom a job to do the ring jackets. Wow. and the shorts and the hoodie thing that the cornerman jackets. So I got to meet Lenox Lewis. You know what I'm saying? FUBU, whatever. So one of the owners of FUBU, which is Bruce and Norman Whitefield, they told me, hey, can you do a painting for Lenox Lewis? We want to give him a gift and you just charge us or whatever. I was like, I never had opportunities in my life, but I always saw them go by in my past. So when that time came around and they said, can you do a painting for Lenox Lewis? We're gonna pay for it. And let's see what it looks like. Dude, I went home, I didn't do one painting. I did 4 of them shits. I did 4 paintings. I brought it back, I brought it in, and we said one. I said, I know, but see which one he wants. I wasn't around when it happened. When he came in, I was told, he looked through the paintings. They were all like a sideway book. And he looked through all of them like that. And he took all of them and he walked out. So it was one with him, with his mom in the ring. He hitting Mike Tyson like so hard, the flash, it was like red, white, and yellow. So the flash of the sweat looked like fire coming off Mike. And there was another one with him jumping jumping rope like this, but it was a panoramic painting like that. So all you saw was his face, his shoulders, and his hands like that, wrapped with blood under wraps, and it was barbed wire, not rope. And then there was another one, I can't remember. But anyway, he took all 4, and they called me and said, okay, Floyd, he didn't pick one, he took all of them. So how much you want to charge us for all of them? I said, well, I was charging you $10,000 for the one, so 40 grand. It's like, no, Floyd. We'll give you, 25. So I think it was 20, and I said 25. I honestly, they may have said 20. I said, take it. You know what I'm saying? I was so young, dumb, and full of all kind of shit. So I took it and I left. And from that point on, I was like, wait a minute. I know other people in the game. I could just paint them and blah, 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 blah. So I did that, and some other people got involved. They got greedy, and because of their greed, things shift. It never goes right when people are in it for the money. Terrible business people too. So I started doing a bunch of different paintings. I had, you name it. Busta Rhymes. Fat Joe, which he wanted to buy, I brought some of the paintings onto his set with Big Pun. They use it again with the Nelly and Fat Joe. Many different things, and it never really worked out to the point where Fat Joe was like, man, I don't really want these things, man. You know what I'm saying? If I want to see myself, I could look in the mirror. I was like, oh, okay. Never forget that shit. Was like it was yesterday. He even signed. He said, I'll sign it for you. I was like, sure. I might as well get a signature out of it. He signed it. He said, thank you, 90%. It's like I'm 90 degrees. He's like, oh, my bad. He scratched off the percent. He put 90 because it's still on the canvas.
That's classy. That's priceless.
Yeah, yes. Hopefully this statement brings something to the value and somebody can take that shit going on with it. Or maybe he could take it. But he's gonna pay me a lot. He's gonna pay me a lot more for it now. When I used to be down, my downs is not downs now. My downs is actually a focus of creative time. So it's never really. I don't have the downs now. I have the. My father. When he saw the DMX, I mean, he didn't tell me much about it. But my mom was like, your father talks so much about you with that DMX wall. And I can imagine, that's how it makes sense. If that's the best, if this is how I could see it, good enough. For 106 and Park, BET 106 and Park, I'm sorry, BET Rhapsody Tickets Basement, I had an opportunity to bring my paintings on set, and they can show it on set. So I was happy to have these paintings on set, but now it had to be diverse. And I know you guys don't see Biggie Smalls in the background for those who think, but it's so huge it didn't really fit, you know. But it's there. I have it. But when I did these paintings, especially the Eazy-E, was to have a diverse of a different crowd. Because they were tapping into the West Coast and the South and from Outkast to Bad Boy to NWA, so we were trying to put stuff that would work on the set, so it'd be a diverse color of some kind. Let me tell you something. I don't recognize the young me because the young me did some shit. I wish I had that young me in me, like that in me right now. But the young me was like really didn't give a shit. He was like, you know when David Chappelle spoke about different years about his life when he was younger. Okay, my young me, the way he moved, I didn't recognize today, but I understood the reason, and that was the love for the art. The love for the art did that, and I had to prove to the world because I failed so much school. I didn't graduate. I mean, I left, just because of household issues. But we go through shit. But my whole point is my outcome was just to grind, and I felt good grinding. Today, I think about the grind, and I'm like, yeah, and in half hour it's dead, because I don't have that passion like I used to. Now it's coming back more because it seems like energy is real. When people love your shit, it shows that you should get back out there and do it. I was losing energy within myself. I didn't care about nothing but to recognize that energy will never leave you, especially when you channel it. It'll embrace you verbally, physically, internally. You that shit will fuel you to be something different. And once I did that, I was like, man, I'm damn near 50, bro. Like, what the fuck? What's next? Am I gonna just let it all go? Man, from there it was just like fruit juices, this, that, healthy, this, eating, working out. I was like, man, I'm done. I gotta get back to this. If people love my shit so much, why am I letting it die out? I have to play the music. I have to feel a certain way. I mean, back in the day, I painted on so much clothes, my friend, that I watched people enjoy it to the point where I didn't quite get it until I got older and watched Europe just embrace this style and making millions off it. I was like, wait, what? We were doing this every day just to pay the rent, So now I put the clothes back on. I start painting again. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna be a 50-year-old with fucking graffiti on my shit. That was my time. Fuck it. That means it ain't wrong. It's wrong and it's funny looking back in the day to watch a old person dress like hip hop when they didn't live the contemporary moment of hip hop, but I lived it, you know what I'm saying? So fuck it, and to hell with anybody say about how I'm looking. But I do it, I do it because I know it makes me feel a certain way. I act a certain way. I'm back. It's like I'm not Bootsy Collins, you feel me? And but I'm not embarrassed to put that attire on. Not like Bootsy Collins, but my time of, this is like a two. Just wait till later on. We be making outfits and ways, man. All art affiliation. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something I love doing. Oh shit! Throughout the pain that I went through, I didn't realize that a lot of great paintings come from pain. So I was like, oh shit! Is this what pain came from? Pretty much, paintings came from pretty much from pain. Paintings, like, oh shit. I think you can only create greatness, once you go through pain and survive it. You can now express it and talk about it and create a great painting. Oh, meeting people. Sorry, I didn't even have that. You know what I'm saying?
What was your affiliation with Bad Boy at the time?
They called me. Okay, Butt Naked Productions, and this is the thing, man. I'm Puff. Chime in if you can, or whatever. back in Butt Naked Productions. Okay, I was also doing stuff for Mr. Cheeks and Talik at the time too. You know, he used to come to my house and whatnot. 1993, I was in Jersey City, and I remember when he says, hey man, see if that guy can do the Bad Boy logo bigger for a banner, you know. So they gave me this logo, you know, like back then, like you know, lines to do the logo, the Bad Boy logo they gave it to me was mad tiny, it was rough looking, you know what I'm saying? So I remember I made it bigger and I cleaned it up. I put a little pizzazz on it, you know. And I remember when it was done, I had Bad Boy and Butt Naked Productions on a banner. And it had Butt Naked Productions logo, which was a guy from the back doing something, but you couldn't really tell, but it was clearly a doggy style of some kind. And then Bad Boy logo. When it was done, we were supposed to all take this to the Jack the Rapper convention. So Puff said we all got to wear suits. He says everybody got to wear suits so we can all look professional getting off the plane for whatever reason. I've later on found out that it was a way to look professional to his business, in business investors of some kind. So that was slick, you know. He got us all to wear suits and stuff. So we got to the airport. They said, how the banner come out? I said it came out good. Puff said roll it out. I rolled the banner out. You know, Puff saw it, he liked it or whatnot. You know, Biggie pulled up. You know, he came out the car with a t-shirt and some jeans. And Puff was like, "Yo, man, you're supposed to wear a suit." Big was like, "It couldn't fit me. I couldn't find no suits to fit me." Right? So that was done. He's like, "Oh." Guys, he's shaking his head, looking at the banner on the floor. Some cops came. You gotta roll that stuff up, stepping on the banner. He was like, "Really?" I was like, and you know me, I was a little skinny me thinking I can handle it. Yo, what the fuck you doing? But Puff and them was like, "Yo, chill, relax. It's all right, no problem." We rolled it up and whatnot. And then Mr. Cheeks and Talik pulled up. And they pulled up in a t-shirt and jeans. Puff was like, "Yo, what the fuck? You know we supposed to wear suits. I told you, what happened? You're supposed to wear suits." He said, Mr. Cheeks was like, "Yo, man, I had a yellow suit. Talik had a green suit. We wasn't coming up here looking like 7-Up. And everybody cracked up laughing. It was the most funny shit ever. You know, later on, like we shared rooms. And when we got to Jack the Rapper, Mr. Cheeks, Talik, and I stayed in the room together. Another story of my life. When I first smoked weed for the first time. But that's, if you want to hear that, I'll tell you that. But yeah, that was the time when I flew down to Atlanta with Puff, and it was all about looking professional so he can get the right deals. And I never tapped into a lot of his stuff. But later on, as we get older, we realized like positions we were in that we didn't know the meaning to. We later on recognized the ingredients. Like, oh, that's what it was. So.
Share one ingredient. Share something, like with Puff. Share something that you didn't understand.
He's a magician. Puff's a magician. He know how to make things look bigger than it is. So when it's time to get it, he get exactly what it's got to be. You see, in life, you got to gain equity to build what you want, the ideas you want to do. I ain't saying to go steal it. I ain't saying to go whatever, but I'm saying if you're going to be magical about it, be the best magician at it, because when it's time to get paid at it, you better be the first ones getting it, because after the magic has been told, that price quote ain't the same no more. So I like his ethics, I might not agree with a lot of things, but who gives a shit, His achievements prove to himself, his family. So my outlook now, I respect him. My outlook back then, I was like, fuck him. But I was just like, who am I to be saying shit like that? Clearly some jealousy of some kind. Yeah. I ain't get there, so fuck him. The first artist I drew was Spike Lee. The first portrait I drew was Spike Lee.
Why?
I was in Brooklyn, living in Class in Lafayette with my aunt. Passed away, God bless her soul.
What's her name?
Shirley Aline. My aunt, She took me in when I was, when I came up from Atlanta and I was trying to get myself started. She took me in, and I remember Spike Lee had his shit around the corner from there, 40 Acres and a Mule. I remember I did this painting, and I went to the office, and I found out where his office was, which was like a block away from his store, next to the school, Ferris. I could be wrong. No, not Ferris. I could be wrong. But in Brooklyn, there's a high school right there in Brooklyn, by the park. And I remember I knocked on those gates. They let me in. I was like, this is like, you have to understand. I'm going up to a company where they tell me where it's at. I'm ringing the bell. I was like, hey, I got something I want to give to Spike Lee. They brought me up. I didn't get to meet Spike Lee, but I had the painting, and I was like, I like to give this to him. This way it all started. Like this is like 1980s, no, 1990, 91, something like that. Like 1990. Had nothing to do with my name, by the way. But and I was like, man, I think it got to him, but it never really followed through. But that was my first experience of trying to do a portrait of Spike Lee. Of doing a portrait, period. And I remember I went further on shopping and around to see if I can get to work in a place that airbrushes, or a place that I might want to get and look for an airbrush artist. So I'm just looking for trying to get a job that I like. So I found the spot. It was called the Curiosity Workshop. And my second portrait was a Malcolm X, and it was blurry as hell, but it looked just like him. It looks just like him. And I was like, man, I'm gonna start taking pictures of my stuff. Now, today we got social media. We could just swipe. Here go my shit, swipe, right? Back then, I just had photographs. I went to a pool party. It involved Salt and Pepper, Apache, Queen Latifah, Big Fat Joe, not Big Pun at the time, and a few other, Naughty by Nature, Redman, shit like that, I went in there and I got in this place and I'm fucking bugging out. I'm like, oh my God, but they all behind lines and shit. And they could tell, today I could tell those who trying to get in, who trying to pretend like they're not being seen, but you could see them like clear as day. That was me. You could see me clear as day, yo. And I'm just like, I was like, oh, man, we might as well stay behind this fucking yellow tape. This motherfucker looking like anybody, So I saw this guy with a jacket on with a Malcolm X. I was like, I tapped in his shoulder. He turned around. I was like, yo, that's a dope jacket. He said, yeah, this jacket, this is my man. He was doing it. I said, yeah, it's all right, but mine's better. He said, but how you gonna stop me? By the way, this guy, his name is Chris Latimer.
Chris Lattimore.
Yeah, I saw him in the thing. I was singing. He's like, he did all the African Alliance stuff back in the day, still does it today. And he's like, yo, how you gonna tell me you like my jacket and then insult it and tell me you do something better? I'm just saying, I'm promoting my stuff. I just wanted to show you. He said, but let me see what you got. Just like Martin, let me see. So I showed it to him, but pictures like, stack of pictures like that, 3x4 and whatever the fuck. And he's flipping. He's like, oh shit, this is dope. I was like, yeah. Because I couldn't speak that well. Still today, still have issues. But back then it was about my art spoke better than I could. So when I showed it to him, he was like, yo, take my number down. And I started snowballing from there. My father, when he saw the DMX, I mean, he didn't tell me much about it. But my mom was like, your father talks so much about you with that DMX wall. And I can imagine, that's how it makes sense. If that's the best, if this is how I could see it, good enough. I will say, work at your shit and strengthen your heart, period. And stay healthy. Well, my whole thing is this. Most of us know the drive, but don't stay alive long enough to get there. Because we have overworked ourselves and stepped into some line of work that just sucked the living life out of you, whether it was drugs, women, or whatever the fuck. It gets, let me say, this hip-hop world, the world of anything, period, that involves money, you're gonna be dealing with people with greed. And if I knew how to part the sea like Moses did with the fucking hip-hop world, I would have walked in that motherfucker, I would part the sea, walked in, do my business, walk out, and let the fucking water crash and let them deal with that shit. But no, people went in there, parted the sea, And when it crashed, I was in that motherfucker. Woo! You know what I'm saying? So trapped. It's fucking trapped. So I say to the people of those who are trying to get there, man, work hard at it, stay healthy, and once you get to the other side, somehow you see the strength of it. So I say work hard, stay healthy, and keep the purity of your heart. You know, everything else is a fight. You know, like people talk about demons and all this shit. No. It's things that we take on. We are patternistic people. When we take things on, it's like algorithm. Once you take it on, it's hard to shake that shit. It's called being wired. So we don't have to get involved with it to have a pattern of it so we can get stuck in it and can't get out of it. It's harder to fight to get out of it. But to recognize the value in it, it feels good. It feels good. And most people don't recognize that feeling because they're too busy getting trapped in that,
Hamster wheel.
Not just a hamster wheel, but, they got trapped in the waves. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They didn't part the sea to go do the job. You know what I'm saying? They stayed swimming in the bullshit.